Well, happy new year to everyone. It's been a really long 2023, but now it's 2024, and man, it's gonna be a long year of 2023. I have anything to say about it. But it is what it is. Time moves on. Things get better, things get worse. Hopefully, everything's gonna get better this year for everyone. Anyway, so before anything goes, well, before I get into anything else, little upcoming announcement. I'm going to be starting my book, so it's going to be out soon. Yes, my first major project for 2024 is going to be Legend of the Zen Rise and Fall. Been working on it for years, never get around to finish it, but that is going to be my first project for the year. That is my first goal of the year. After that, I'm going to be doing the children's book because I wrote it, never finished doing the pictures for it because AI art is quite difficult to use. Can't get anything consistent and anything like that. It's a lot to go through tutorials. It's like hours to do, like if you want like 5 consistent characters or 5 pictures that are like somewhat consistent with the same character, it takes hours, which not a big deal, but it still comes out weird sometimes. But that's okay, because 2024, it seems as though they're gonna start doing a little bit more work on that finally, because the year already just started. It's like a couple days into the year and there's already the first actual AI software that is actually specifically for consistent characters. It's not brand new, it's something that's been around for a while apparently, because they use it for making graphics for games, so you need the character to be the same. But they finally opened it to the public and they're showing off different things about it. So for now, that looks pretty promising. I'm gonna wait a little bit for them to work out the bugs. I'm hoping they work out the bugs, but I'm hoping Midjourney catches up and Midjourney starts putting out some ways to have consistent characters, because that would be so much cooler. I don't use Midjourney right now because I don't do a lot of AI art right now, so but I'm waiting to go back into it hopefully this month to start making some pictures. Pictures I showed you just now was actually from ChatGPT and DALL-E 3. That's what did the book cover for Legend of Zen so far. It's still a work in progress. After I get through a couple more chapters, I'll decide if it looks a little bit more to my liking. And then the background right now is actually from DALL-E 3 also. It's a lot easier to use than Midjourney, because with DALL-E 3 you can just use ChatGPT and you can type whatever you want as long as you want, and then it interprets it into a picture, which sometimes gives you some crazy results, and DALL-E likes to do what it wants. So just like with the book, the reason it's on an actual book is because it decided that's where it should make the covers that look correctly, and then the covers that's not on the book, it just throws out randomness, like complete randomness. So I just stick with that for right now. I'll deal with it later because it's not important right now. I got a good cover, probably not going to be the final cover, so we'll move on. Anyway, let's recap a little about 2023 in the technology world especially. And I know everybody's doing like the AI stuff, but this is not really about AI first. It's like AI second. Like first things like actual technology that went on this year has been crazy and no one's talked about it at all. People just are ignoring it because they're all focused on the end of the world with AI, but at the same time, some other stuff is going on that could be a lot worse than AI. No one's talking about it. I know, my camera moves now. Yeah, it has an actual AI camera, by the way. It's just weird, but it's pretty cool. But my main point is, like, did you know they found a way to superglue your DNA, like, instantly with light? Yeah, that's a thing. Like, from like all the sci-fi of aliens morphing into people and these super DNA hacks which will change people over time, like instantly, instead of over like millions of years, they change them at the same time. They've actually found a way to do it at the same time, like instant DNA fusion, I think is what they said, but it's more like super gluing particles, basically atoms and molecules in your DNA together to change your DNA instantly. It's like the DNA molecule gets changed instantly once it's exposed to a specific light that the glue uses to adhere. Now, a lot of things, it seems like that's totally fine and that's totally cool. Except it's not. Like, it's just not. Do you not understand what that means? Say you put this in a cup of water, the glue solution in a cup of water. So obviously, you're not gonna taste it because it's like particle size, atom size. You're not really gonna taste it. You're not gonna taste the difference. They don't have to poison you. They can just put that in, and they can set it to attach to a specific part of your DNA and glue to another part of your DNA. It doesn't even have to be like a finely tuned precision. You just have to get it to attach to two parts of your DNA, and that's it. You drink the glass of water. The next time you're exposed to that light, you're just dead. Like there's no, oh, I'm gonna get sick. No, you're just gone. Because your DNA throughout your entire body is just gonna randomly start changing. In an instant, your DNA just doesn't function anymore, which means your cells don't function, which means you're past tense. And everybody thought this was the greatest invention ever. I'm like, do you guys not remember how like the nuclear bomb came to be? Like, the nuclear energy was not intended originally for mass destruction or anything like it, but that was its major use, and that was like its first use to massively blow things up and get rid of an entire city, just like that, gone. And I wonder, like, what are these people thinking sometimes? Like, do you not understand that these things get misused easily? And the list of things goes on. It's just been a bad year. That's just like one of the ones that I thought seemed very docile at first, but it's very destructive. And then we have stuff like, oh, they're coming out with new research. Oh, plants do play a bigger role in the environment than we think. They play a bigger role in getting rid of CO2 than we think. No, duh. Like, for the past ever, plants have been regulating our atmosphere forever, across the entire planet. Now in 2023, oh, we know that plants are doing it now. We have scientific proof. Really? You didn't have like scientific proof the entire time? I mean, I thought like this whole point of global warming stuff was because we were cutting down trees, and that stopped, and then it moves to green energy, and we forgot about the plants altogether. We forgot what plants do. Like, we just forgot what plants do suddenly. Like, when did we forget what plants do? When did we forget that plants actually make things better? When did we forget that plants filter the air so that it's not toxic to us? When did we forget plants produce oxygen? When did we forget plants filter out CO2? When did we forget plants use CO2 to help them grow faster? When did we forget all of this? Like, this is basic science that we learned in like middle school. But apparently it's all a lie now because, you know, it's not green enough. But I originally thought the whole point of green energy was to be more like plants. Nope. It's to make more advanced stuff by cutting down forests, mining entire forests to create very energy efficient things that don't hurt the environment. Or we could just not do all of that and just plant the plants back. It's weird how even after COVID hit and the entire planet changed, their entire ecosystems literally changed in a matter of months because people weren't out, people weren't doing stuff, people weren't polluted, and plants were growing a lot faster because there were less plants being cut down. But the environment changed and started to revert itself back to a state where not revert itself back to a state, but started reversing global warming. But all of a sudden, none of that actually happened because the only thing that happened during COVID was COVID. Weird how that's a thing. But I digress because people finally figured out plants do an actual better job of fixing the environment than we can do, because what we're doing is actually more harmful than if we did nothing. Because cutting down trees, making Teslas, making electric cars, making all this other stuff, actually still damaging the environment more than if we just didn't do that and just chilled out with what we have right now. But you know, it's not green, and that's gonna solve global warming. Like going carbon neutral, it's gonna solve global warming. Even though if we went net zero, it would be impossible because human beings produce a ton of carbon dioxide. Like, we produce more carbon dioxide than cars around the planet. Because, you know, 9 billion of us almost produce a lot more carbon dioxide than the cars on the road. Because the cars on the road aren't producing carbon dioxide 24 hours a day. But anyway, I digress, because, you know, green energy, that's the key to the whole thing. But now let's move on to the advances in AI that's happened over the past couple of months, and the stuff that people have been saying over the past few months, especially because of the breakthroughs in AI. For some reason, people think that this stuff is all brand new, that no one saw this coming. And I sit here, and every time I see these articles, I'm like, so you were a sheltered child that didn't get to watch TV or read comic books or fictional stuff in general your entire life, because like this stuff has been written out for years. Like the biggest one I saw, and he even made, like, I think Joe Rogan made Joe Rogan, and there was like a lot of these people talking about it, was they put like a cell from a brain cell. I'm not sure if it was a human brain, but they put a brain cell on a microchip, and the microchip advanced so much faster, and it was doing more calculations than they thought possible, and everyone was shocked and surprised, and I was just like, why? Why are you shocked and surprised at this? This is called bioneural technology. There's a name for it already, and you're shocked because you think this is brand. Here's a name for it. Like, there's a legit name. It's not like it's new. There's a legit name. Because it's the first time we've done it. Yeah, that's true. But it's been around in sci-fi for decades. Like, long time. Like, did you not know in Star Trek NXT, the ship had bioneural technology? Like, their whole ship ran on bioneural packs, which did all the processing information. In Star Trek Voyager, there's a big thing about the fact that it was the first ship to have bioneural technology installed everywhere instead of regular circuitry, and how that Voyager was, the circuitry ran, I think, at 1,200 times faster than a regular ship. Now, remember, Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek NXT are set like almost 1,000 years in the future. If 1,000 years in the future, brain, matter, or organic cells in technology can make their technology work 1,000 to 2,000 times faster, do you not think it would make our modern technology work a lot faster? And my other thing is, where do you think they got the idea? Like, this has been a thing forever. Like, this is like a normal sci-fi thing that you put organic matter or living cells into technology, and it makes the technology work faster and better, because, you know, the human brain processes more information than Google processes in an hour, while what Google does in an hour or a day is what the human brain does in a couple minutes. Like, do you not realize that you see in like 50K at like 500 hertz versus your camera that can be like 8K at most at 100 hertz? Like, that is like 1,000 times more information coming in just to your eyes that your brain has to process and sort out before you even understand it. Like, the amount of information coming into your brain every second is terabytes of data just from your senses. Not moving and walking and thinking. No, just your senses alone is terabytes upon terabytes of data every second. No computer that we know can handle that. Computers at Google can barely handle that with their quantum processors. And you think that, oh well, you don't think that our brain is going to like enhance technology if we put it on it? Of course it will. Like, the whole point of that is like super obvious. Even like original AI technology was based on like stuff from iRobot back in the day, where they had like a little bit of brain matter and a little bit of technology built in. Even like Halo, like the original Halo game, Cortana only functions as Cortana because she's embedded in Master Chief's brain stem or brain. I don't know which one it is, but she's part of Master Chief's actual brain, which is what gives her the processing power of most of every technology on the entire planet by herself, because she's embedded in a person's brain. But yeah, that's just how that works. But anyway, the other news from AI is that AI is doing a whole bunch of different stuff. A lot of advances in AI has happened over the past couple of months, versus, even though AI has been around for quite a while, since about 2012 is when they first started working on some of the AI stuff, and 2017 is when some of the major companies headed into it, and now in 2023, like midway to 2022, AI started getting a little bit more recognition. At the end of 2022 in November, AI took off, and throughout 2023, AI had like one breakthrough after another. That's, some of it was concerning, most of it was not, because it's stuff that was expected. A lot of that stuff was predictable as it gets. Like AI algorithms making pictures, AI is now making videos also, which kind of wasn't a big deal. AI writing books and videos and movies. They've been doing that for a while because we all know most music is actually written by AI, and they've been doing that for quite a long time. People just don't want to believe it because they think, oh, all this music is written by people. If you notice over the past couple of years, music kind of doesn't seem all that people-like. That's what happened. AI has gone way above what most people expected. Now, it's actually cool, and I expected to a point where I actually talked about it before, is one of the new things that's coming out in AI is AI phones, where most of the phone's power is online and processed by an AI so it can do the work it needs to do. Something I said, like the new phones, the most advanced phones that are going to come out pretty much in 2024 is going to be phones that are basically AI ran. Basically things you hold in your hand, that's basically just an AI receiver. So most of the apps on your phone is going to be AI apps are integrated into AI, so when you access them, they're going to be running from online, not directly from your phone. They've already have one, which is the AI pin, which is a little pin, like kind of like this, but that's an actual mic. It's a little pin, it functions the same, just a mic with a camera on it, and everything it does is AI based, and it runs on an AI mainframe that you pay for. I think it's like every month. I don't know how much it is. But you tell it to do stuff, and it does that. You tell it to take a picture, it saves the picture on the cloud. You tell it to do stuff, you can have it order food for you. Anything you want with just a voice-activated AI, which is kind of like Star Trek, basically. We're back to Star Trek, which is funny that we're back to Star Trek because, you know, Star Trek. A lot of stuff happened on Star Trek is coming through, and we aren't even noticing it. But yeah, a lot of stuff happened on Star Trek that is now coming through, and some of the stuff that is ominous from Star Trek we're ignoring, like making stuff that seems really cool, that has a really bad side effect because no one wants to think about the way that you could destroy an entire city without, like, instantly gluing people's DNA together, because that's never gonna happen. Like, nobody would ever think about misusing nuclear energy to blow something up. But yeah, I digress. AI has come leaps and bounds. I use a lot of stuff in AI. I usually only use ChatGPT to help me edit stuff and make pictures, basically. That's about it. That's all I really want to use AI for, because right away AI kind of sucks. AI is kind of dumb. It's not that it can't do certain things, it's just that it's bad at it. A lot of stuff it does is repetitive, and it's kind of, well, it's kind of obvious that it's AI. It's kind of obvious what you're using it for, so I tend to use it for specific things like editing, where it doesn't change what I've written, and grammar work. It's really good at that. Like, it's really good at grammar and editing. But it is coming a long way. It's coming very fast, and this year is going to be a lot to look forward to. I'm very looking forward to AI video generation, where it generates video from text and video from images. I'm looking forward to the new upgraded image generators that they're working on, specifically for Midjourney, and there are a couple other companies that's coming out with their video, text-to-video. Even Google has text-to-video now, but I don't know about Google, because Google's AI image generation is lacking, its audio generation is lacking, and I used its, I think it was Brad a couple times, and it's very lacking. Like, it's like a 4-year-old. It's very intelligent, but also very dumb. So it can respond to you very well. It just can't really function very well, which I kind of don't get, because a lot of stuff I ask it to do is stuff that you can get done on a computer very easily, but it doesn't do. So we'll see how that goes in the coming future. Anyway, aside from AI advancing, creating very weird things, because it's created some weird stuff, it has made some really good breakthroughs on ways of using energy and energy production and solar power and wind power. It's even made some advancements in thermonuclear power, like using heat, basic heat alone as a way of power, and made some advancements in helping with cooling and heat pumps and things like that throughout your daily life. So a lot of AI is actually, a lot of things that people are doing with AI right now is actually pretty good. A lot of other things are actually kind of useless, but it's still pretty good so far. I'm looking forward to this year, especially because this is the first year that Hollywood's gonna have a run for its money. And I don't mean like, oh, there's gonna be a new company. No, it's Hollywood's gonna have a major run for its money this year. Because this year is the first year, started now, that AI is gonna be able to generate video from text. So just imagine, authors are just gonna stop trying to get their work made in Hollywood, and they can hire somebody on Fiverr or something like that to have them make them a movie in like a month. They can have a fully functional movie made from just AI video that's all generated from a book. Imagine in a couple months you can have comic books generated from stories, because that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And I'm waiting because there's a couple comic generators, but they kind of suck because they don't really follow a storyline. They just generate panels, which the characters in them is not even consistent, so not very useful yet. But imagine what will happen when you can keep the same character and you can generate as much as you want. Like, I'll have my own comic book series in no time. Lots of authors would have their own comic book series in no time. Like, this year is going to be a fun year to see what stuff is being created constantly. I'm going to be along for the ride because it's going to be a fun ride to see some really cool stuff. Anyway, I'm looking forward to 2024 and all this craziness that's going to happen. And hopefully it doesn't have any crazy bad things. I know a couple of bad things already happened, but we're just going to keep moving because we have to keep going on. And look for the bright side. So hopefully everyone have an awesome year today or this year. Hopefully everyone has an awesome year. And 2024 is one to remember, not for the bad, not for the horrible, but for all the good things that happens. Anyway, I will see you guys, hopefully a lot this coming year.